Welcome to the YouTube channel Witness for Jesus. This is Dawn. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had the honour and privilege of interviewing Dr. Robert Bowman Jr. about his new book, The Incarnate Christ and Its Critics, A Biblical Defence, and we had a brilliant chat. If you've not caught up with that interview, you might want to watch the whole thing. But this little clip is just about the New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. Dr. Bowman is a biblical scholar and he has some really pointed and direct things to say about the New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures as produced by Jehovah's Witnesses. Please comment, please share and subscribe if you haven't already. God bless.
Well, Jehovah's Witnesses got their doctrine first, and then they produced their Bible version to fit what they'd already decided the Bible taught.
Mm.
And of all the English translations of the Bible with which I'm familiar, none really matches the New World Translation for its theological bias, its theological bent in various places on various topics, of course, on the deity of Christ, but also on eternal punishment and a number of other issues. The New World Translation was a serious attempt to make the Bible compatible with Jehovah's Witness doctrine where they could. They took renderings of controversial verses that other people had used before them and they followed suit so they could say, see, we're not the only ones. This guy living in Idaho, in a shack somewhere, produced his own Bible, says the same thing, that kind of thing. And in some cases more serious uh, support from scholars. But my general opinion of the New World Translation was and is that it's strictly amateur hour stuff. It's done by people that didn't understand biblical scholarship, didn't understand translation theory, didn't understand these things. Now, it turns out that the newest revision of the New World Translation was done by people that were a little bit more sensitive to these things, and they made a number of changes in some places to try to reduce the awkwardness of the English renderings, which it was notorious, of course, and in some cases actually corrected the text to make it say pretty much what it says in the original text, in the Greek text. So the best example I know is in Philippians 1, where they rewrote their English translation of Philippians 1 to conform more to what the Greek text said. Unfortunately for them, what that means is the text comes out pretty much admitting that Paul was saying, I'm torn between the desire to die and go and be with Christ or to stay and be able to minister to you. In the original New World Translation, they had a third thing that Paul said he wanted to do, which it just didn't work. It was a translation malpractice. Well, they fixed that, so I commend them for fixing it. Now, it'd be nice if they'd admit that Paul actually taught what they had been denying all this time, but that may be asking too much. So I don't approve of the New World Translation as a biblical scholar, not because I have a theological axe to grind. Look, there are places where I disagree with other versions when they show some bias for whatever reason. But in general, the New World Translation stands almost alone in being a severely and systematically doctored version of the Bible to comport with Jehovah's Witness theology.
Yeah.